Three, two, one, and we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela with another edition of Notes on the News, where I share with you headlines from my news feed that I snatch from the main news feed that I get on my phone, and we talk about the headlines, the subject matter in general or at large, the article if we've read it or skimmed it, or whatever happens to come up. Good morning between us. But it's not news, it's just my notes on the news. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Did I say I'm Angela and the channel is Be Fabulous You? And we're working on 1,000 charter subscribers. So thank you for being here and a part of the vision. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell because you never know when I might go live. Whoop, whoop. So what's new and good? Habaragani, what's the news? What's going on? Drop it in the comments. What's new and good with you, your family, your community, your personal life, your family's life, all of that good stuff. Drop it in the news, and we're gonna jump right into the Nguzo Saba, which are the principles of Kwanzaa. There are 7 of them. We have been working through them sequentially for a while now, and now we're actually working on some essays. The last Nguzo Saba, good morning, that we did, thank you for the like, was Ujima Cooperative Economics. How you doing this morning, ma'am? I hope your day is going well. It's going well. I don't recognize your name. It's excellent. It's the best day ever. I know your day is going well as well. And if not, it's early enough to reset it, right? So we finished up the essay on Ujama and we started, I'm new here, welcome. Hey, Sonia C's, K Queen Wolf Clan. Glad to be here. Yes, ma'am. All right. So we started off with Nia yesterday, I think, or the last time we were here, which was not yesterday. But don't tell anybody, I'm not coming every day anymore. It's just a busy time at the moment. Good morning, family. So we're going to jump right into the essay. Again, I'm coming off of a website website called endarkment.com. Okay, so we're on the 3rd paragraph of the essay. Finally, Nia, and Nia is the 5th principle, and Nia is purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. And y'all know I always like to, when I'm paying attention, talk about moving forward in the legacy of our greatness. We're not going back, we moving forward. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Finally, Nia suggests that personal and social purpose are not only non-antagonistic, but complementary in the communitarian sense of the word. Yes, yes. So, it's saying that, your purpose is not only not against your community's purpose, but it's in alignment with your community's purpose. They're one and the same. We can't separate I from we. We can't separate you from us. We all in this together. When you win, I win. Okay. In fact, it suggests that the highest form of personal purpose is, in the final analysis, social purpose, i.e., personal purpose that translates itself into a vocation and a commitment which involves and benefits the community. That's right. As we have noted elsewhere, such a level of quality of purpose not only benefits the collective whole, but also gives fullness and meaning to a person's life in a way that individualistic and isolated pursuits cannot. Good morning, the radical sister, Sister Ajali. How are you doing? Good morning, Information Man Show. What time is it in California? It's like almost 9 here. I'm like, good morning. I'm up. All right. So yes. So when I say Habaragani, Max Evans, what's up? When I say Habaragani, today we say Nia, purpose, 5:57 a.m. Good morning. Good morning. Yay. Okay, so purpose. Oh, you and Callie too. All right, Callie in the house. going back to Cali, Cali, Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I don't think so. Y'all know anything about that? Remember that LL Cool J song? That was the jam. I think that was my favorite. Yeah, I think that was my favorite LL Cool J song. Because do I like any? But that one with the horns. Ooh, good morning. Okay, so let's see what the Buddha is saying today. If he has any edification for us. Oh, look, we so early. The regular one hasn't come in yet, but we have one from yesterday. Since I've been, dang, I got to do. I go through my phone. There's so much stuff that I'm behind on that I need to do. It's something. But this is a good week because I have an opportunity to catch up. Train yourself in doing good. That lasts and brings happiness. Train yourself in doing good. That lasts and brings happiness. Cultivate generosity, the life of peace, and a mind of boundless love. Well, yeah, we can use all of this. Train yourself in doing good. And that means that sometimes we have to focus and work on paying attention to what we're doing and how we're doing it. I disagree. Go to hell, Buddha. No, no, we agree. You disagree for real, or are we joking? Sonia, ease, Sonia, easy. And sometimes you have to focus on, yes, you develop good addictions, which are simply good habits. When it's negative, it's addiction. Sonia sees how you are. Yeah. So, train yourself, right? Decide to pick up some good habits, decide to become obsessed with being a good person and a strong person and a positive person and adding value, all of that. And these are the types of things that bring lasting happiness. They bring good. Cultivate generosity, the life of peace, and a mind of boundless love. Okay, enough of that. Let's jump on into the news feed. Yes, yes. All right. Habargani. Nia, purpose. All right, let us see. Okay, Gullah Jack, African conjurer, historically known for aiding Denmark Vesey in slave rebellion. So I was reading something the other day, and purpose, yes, Nia. I was reading something the other day, and I guess I don't know why it kind of surprised me, but Vesey was the last name of the person who called himself owning the person that we tend to know. Boundless love is freaky. The person that we tend to know is Denmark Vesey. Sometimes I kind of get annoyed with, a lot of times how we're known by the names of the people, and I use people loosely, who, try to own us, oppress us, steal our labor, beat us, rape us, and all of these other demonic, awful, terrible things. And then when we try to call the names of our ancestors, we're bringing up the vibration of our ancestors' torturers. So it's sort of like, if I don't use the name Denmark Vesey, do we even know who I'm talking about? And that's deep to me. That's deep. Gullah Jack, but this is about Gullah Jack. Hey, Stephanie, how you doing? Good morning. Gullah Jack was an African conjurer who is historically known for aiding Denmark Vesey in planning a slavery rebellion referred to as the Denmark Vesey Conspiracy of 1822. Jack was also called Cooter Jack and sometimes Gullah. Gullah Jack was born of African descent. I don't even know what that means. I like the fact that Black then writes essays, but sometimes their writing is a little bit, I feel like they need an editor. That's how I feel. And I try not to get, tripped up in it, but sometimes it kind of I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to cultivate generosity. He was purchased as a prisoner of war at Zanzibar in Africa's eastern shores in the early 19th century. Gullah Jack was allowed to take a bag aboard the ship, which he always kept with him. Approximately 40 people escaped or were taken prisoners in the 1812 Seminole raid on the Kinsley plantation where Gullah Jack was enslaved. He was among the group that eventually ended up in Charleston, South Carolina. Right, born of African descent. Um, he was noted, Gullah Jack was most noted for having perfected the shuck and jive persona. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. I'm so happy. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir. Yes, sir. We's having a good day, sir. Yes, we is. Yes, we is. Is that the shuck and jive persona? I might have perfected it, but I don't know if I could do it like really. I just do it like, playing around in here. But could I do, I might, maybe I'm so good at it that I could do it in real life. He was a short man with bushy whiskers and acted playful for the whites. Just after Christmas 1821, Vesey recruited Gullah Jack to be one of his lieutenants. Gullah Jack was a conjurer and known among the blacks as the little man who can't be killed. He had a reputation as a powerful root doctor who was skilled in the use of herbs for medicine and the shuck and jive. Shoot, I feel like it's still almost a requirement to breathe another day. I feel like when I hear when I hear black men in corporate America take the bass out of their voice, I feel like that's the shuck and jive. It's a different variation of it. I really want to see this movie. I don't know why it got so heavy on me all of a sudden, but dang, it just came out like this week, and it's about bro, basically, like you just letting them know I'm not a threat to you. I'm not a danger. We's on the same team. You got to reassure them. Sorry to bother you. Yes, sorry to bother you is the movie. Has anyone seen it? Because I'm like really like interested to see it. I don't know why. And it's kind of rare that I want to see a movie. Um, it's kind of rare that I want to see a movie in the in the like in the theater. Usually I'm like, nasal fast talking black women. Nasal fast. Ooh, I don't know what. What's a nasal fast talking black woman? I used to it. I think I've lost my voice, but I used to have what I call one of my friends is like, well, when you need to use the voice. And I knew exactly what she was talking about. Good morning, Rowdy Chica. I knew exactly what she was talking about. And I don't know if I have the voice anymore. I think I don't know if I can do my like, yes, exactly. No, I think I can. I think when people start getting on my nerves and I want to be real dry with them, I probably use the voice. I don't have any warmth or any personality, and I try to just be very dry. And that's probably my white voice. Okay. Um, it was believed that Jack was able to create powerful protective amulets against evil. He also represented an Angolan company called the Gullah Company or the Gullah Society. What do they mean by Angolan Company and Angola Society? It used to be called the Operator Voice. Oh. Um, Gullah Jack was to get the message of Vesey's plan to seize the city of Charleston out. Because I feel like I can use standard English better than the most standard of the standardist English users. That's how I feel. The plan was to kill the whites if necessary and escape to the Caribbean. 1822. So by 1822, the Haitian Revolution had happened. So I wonder if when they say escape to the Caribbean, they meant escape to. I let my money do the talking when speaking to the Mayos. Here, take this green. I don't even like to give people my money. I barely like to give anybody my people, my money, especially if I feel like anyway. I'd be like, I'm just gonna keep my money. What are we reading? This is an essay from Black Then. um, so a lot of times Black Then will show up in my news feed because it's one of the blogs that I subscribe to or one of the blogs. So sometimes I try to read about resistance and people who resisted and the ways in which we resist. He instructed his faithful to only eat parched corn and ground nuts on the day of the attack and gave them crab claws to hold in their mouths as they attacked to keep them from being wounded. He's also said to have used his spiritual powers to terrify others into keeping silent about the conspiracy. Now, I think that's a good one because those people who are inclined to talk, who may get a little nervous or shaky or think, oh my God, this won't work. So if it don't work, I better go on and tell them now, and then maybe they won't hurt me. Shut up, be quiet, because if you're not quiet, I'm gonna hurt you worse than they could ever hurt you. However, the plan failed and Gullah Jack was captured on July 5th, 1822. He was put on trial, but Gullah Jack played the fool so much that it was hard for the judges to believe he was part of the rebellion. As the trial progressed and 6 witnesses testified against him, Jack's demeanor changed. He scowled and gave his accusers hard look. I've gained massive respect for our ancestors who were so determined even without seeing final results of their fight for us. Wow. Because I know how evil folk come at them hard. Coon crusher. Yeah. And I feel like that's how we have to be. We have to be ferocious and we have to be focused in our fight, whether we see it or know it or not. Like the only thing that we can do is fight. The only thing that we can do is resist. The only thing that we can't, and we're like a lot of the stuff that we're working on and fighting for, we're not going to, we have to. We're not going to see, we don't know. We don't know, but we know, that we're doing the right thing. King Wolf Clan. I thought it was KQ. I got confused. Okay. He made motions. He gave him hard looks. He made motions and designs with his fingers until the judges admonished him for trying to bewitch the witnesses. He's letting them know, I got something for you. Keep it up. He asked for an extension of his life for 1 or 2 weeks. However, he was condemned to death. And hung on July 12th, 1882. He is still remembered and admired among the Gullah Geechee Nation. When I used to be on Facebook, I kind of kept up with Queen Quiet. And maybe even on Twitter, maybe I just haven't seen her much. We're the bravest, most determined, creative, spiritually blessed people on earth. Everyone learns for us. That's true. And that's true for us now. We're the most creative, spiritually blessed, determined, hardworking, loving, compassionate, wonderful people in the world. We is. Um, Resistance looks a lot of ways. Everyone must do their part in the fight. Yeah. And sometimes, just like if you were to see, that's my coaches are the Geechee. Oh, um, okay, that's my coach. Okay, yeah, I like paying attention to Queen Quiet, and I really want to go, visit that region, and I haven't. Now in my family, there's a lore. I meant to say culture. Oh, culture, not code. Yeah, okay. In my family, there's a lore that some of my people are Geechee Gullah, but then other people are like that's not true. So Pam Greer is Geechee. I didn't know that. I do like a lot of rice, so my ex husband used to always say I was Geechee Gullah. All right, so I done lost my place in the news feed. We didn't go far, but in the meantime, Habaragani, what's the good news? Nia, purpose. Drop any good news in. Look, I only read one headline. Drop any good news in the commentary. What you're excited about for your family, your community, and yourself personally. Japan floods. 141 killed after torrential rain and landslides. So I think the last time that we actually talked, it was 33. And then every time I looked at the news feed, it had gone up to like 51 to this, to that. It's just been like escalating. And the imagery they had, it was like a car that was just like, like not a car, but like a SUV. And it was like just kind of floating in the water. Hey, I see. Good day. It was just floating in the water. Marijuana is okay for employment. Girl, I don't know what you're talking about. It was just floating in the water, and it was like people up to here, men up to here, looked like they were trying to navigate the car and stuff. But it's kind of intense. To just see the numbers going up and up. So prayers again out to the people in Japan who have, who have lost their lives, who have lost family members, who have lost homes, who are displaced, disoriented, distressed. Because I just can't imagine. I mean, I can't imagine moving when you're gonna move is already like high stress. But just kind of like this type of situation, it's just kind of like wow. But I guess it also gives you an opportunity in the spirit of Japan or Asia to find the Zen. Good morning, love like the sun, to find that Zen, to find that space, to find the God within and the the peace within, or an opportunity as much as you can. So, just prayers out to all of us that, all of us and all of them, that we can increasingly locate, that space of God, that space of truth, that space of love, that space of peace within, even when it feels like everything is just all jacked up. It's not. It's not. July 10, 1875. Happy birthday to Mary McLeod Bethune, the first lady of the struggle. Ooh, Mary McLeod Bethune. Do y'all know who Mary McLeod Bethune is? I kind of know the name, but I don't know exactly offhand who she is. I think she was like an educator and had something to do. Um, um, had something to do with education. On this day in 1875, a black personality was born who was and still famously known as the first lady of struggle. Again, black then, and they added then. Mary McLeod Bethune was a famous African American stateswoman, educator, humanitarian, philanthropist, and a great civil rights activist. She was popularly known for her humanitarian services and for starting a private school exclusively for Black American students in Daytona Beach, Florida. Bethune has a lot of achievements on her shoulders to show her amazing followers. She served as the president of the National Association of Colored Women and was the founder of the National Council of Negro Women. I think that's the context in which I've heard of her. Mary Jane, her name was Mary Jane. Somebody was just talking about marijuana a minute ago. Was it premonition? Mary Jane McLeod was born July 10, 1875, in Maysville, South Carolina. She was born and brought up in poverty among 17 children that were born to former slaves in America. Bethune was the only child in her family who went to missionary school to get some proper education. She used to walk miles each day to reach her school for the love of education and to share her mint knowledge with her family. I wonder what mint knowledge is. Bethune was a studious child, and that's why she got a scholarship to get further education from Scotia Cemetery. After her graduation, she continued her education and attended the Dwight Moody's Institute to learn home and foreign missions while living in Chicago. What are home and foreign? Remember Stagecoach Mary? No. What are home and foreign missions? Is a home mission like how to sew and how to cook? And what's a foreign mission? I don't know. Later, she returned to the South and started working as a teacher. Bethune's career as a teacher went nearly for a decade when she married her fellow teacher and got a son. Look at them writing. She got a son, Albert McLeod Bethune. But sadly, the marriage ended a few years later. Oh, she always believed that good education might end racial discrimination. It is not true. It's not us, it's them. It's not that we don't speak their language, or that we're uneducated, or that we're uncreative, or not hardworking, or that we don't pull our pants up, or that whatever. It's not us, it's them. It's not really anything we can do. They just like that. Why is walking to school for miles always some type of glorified virtue in these education stories? I know, I used to walk 6 miles uphill both ways in the sun with the snow up to here, because that's how much I wanted to have education. Yeah, I don't know. I guess because so many of us used to have to walk to get to school. And I do think that there's something about walking. Like, I think about, the walk to freedom, like literally, like if you're walking from south to north, there's something about putting your body into it that I think translates into, your mind. So it's like the more invested you are in it, the more physically invested you are in it. Even when I ran youth programs, I think that when I would never charge, I didn't charge children for programs. But what I would do is I would charge them that they needed to fill out an application, and I would charge them that they needed to go through an interview. Now, they didn't know that everybody was going to get in, but I wanted them, one, to have the experience of, filling out applications, going through interviews, talking to people and all of that. But two, I wanted them to be invested. I wanted them to sell themselves. I wanted them to explain why they want to be in the program. I'm not begging you to be in the program. You the one applied. So when we had trouble, I could be like, you applied to be here. You told me in your interview X, Y, and Z, sir, ma'am. You know, but I think that when we physically when we invest something in it, we have a different experience. When you are walking miles to school, you be like, I really want to be there. I guess I never walked miles to school. I used to take the city bus to school. She involved herself in government services. 1935, became a special advisor to President Roosevelt by Minority Affairs. I don't know what that means. With so much devotion and love for her community, one of the leading activists and educators, Mary Jones McLeod spent the rest of her life for different social causes, and eventually died on the 18th of May, 1955, in her hometown, Daytona, Florida. So, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's rest in peace, Mama. Rest in power, Mama Mary McLeod Bethune. Thanks for your service, and may someone be inspired to pick up your mantle and do your work passionately and for the people, and updated for our time and our awareness and our knowledge today. India policemen told to slim down or lose the job. In India, they saying the police, they too fat, they too big, you too fat. You got to lose weight or you're going to lose the job. We can't have you being a cop and you fat. We can't have that. We can't have you being a cop and you're overweight. You need to be tip-top shape. That's what's going on. Now, when I was in India, one thing that I noticed is that the Indian people really like ghee on everything. And I don't know if ghee is healthy or not, but I know it was sure tasty. Like when you would bring out when they would bring out fresh bread and then they would pour ghee on it, I'd be like, no, no, yes, yes, it's so good. But then there was also so much richness, like cream and dairy and milk and and sweets. Oh my gosh, the sweets. I never got into the sweets, but there were so many sweet shops and ice cream and just, so it was like, it was not a surprise to me how big some of the people were. And it seemed like a lot of times also you could tell, good morning, Dark Void. You could also tell some of the poorer people were not as big. Like some of the wealthier people were big. So, I mean, yeah, it was a little bit too rich. McLeod. Oh, is it McLeod or is it McLeod? It's probably McLeod. Those sweets are scary sweet. Yeah, I never so much got into their sweets. Because I'm like, well, what exactly is in it? And in another country, it's hard to, you know. A bank just fired its first world famous AI assistant, Amelia. So it was kind of weird to me. I guess I could see how when I was reading the article, they were like, they fired her because she was hired to do this and hired to do that. And I was like, it was artificial intelligence. You can fire artificial intelligence. And the way the article was written, it was like a personification. Like they hired her to make it easier for people to open accounts and to do whatever. And she wasn't really living up to it. So they fired her. And I could see like you could buy a computer for a specific purpose and it might not really do what you wanted it to do. So you stop using it. But I'm like, you can't, can you fire a computer? I just think the language is interesting in terms of artificial intelligence. Like you know how Ayapo talked to Alexa or whatever. It's just kind of like the artificial intelligence is not a person. Is not a person. Is a computer a person? No disgruntled employees. China's Big Brother surveillance technology is impressive and chilling, but not nearly as all-seeing as the government wants you to think. You're talking to a phone, right? But it does it I can't I mean like I feel like with my dog, like before I had a dog that was like little, I didn't really understand how people like got attached to their dogs. And now people are like, you're talking to Bella. And I'm like, yeah, because she's like a being. It's amazing how much more work it seems that our folk accomplished when we did less. Boy, as soon as they got the chains off, they got to work in their minds and getting it done. Um, Shoot, when we were enslaved, we were accomplishing stuff. We were doing all kinds of stuff. We built this country with our minds, with our bodies, with our labor, with our creativity. Yeah, that's our nature. We was doing that before. That's what we do. Corporations are people. Computers will soon become too. Hashtag robot. So what was interesting to me about this whole China surveillance story is we've been looking at, looking at story after story of Big Brother. They're watching us here. They're watching us there. They're watching us everywhere. That's how you start to feel like they got it on us. This article was interesting because it's like, now China is known to be like at the my cat had such an amazing personality. I can never get a new cat. They're not robots. They're real sentient beings. Yeah, and I didn't really understand that until I spent time. And I'm like, oh, I mean, she has like a personality. She has feelings. She wants stuff. Is some stuff she don't want. Like I didn't really animals are spiritual. Yeah, I didn't really quite, I don't know what I thought. I guess I never really thought much about animal. It's like the dog is just in the backyard. And I even had cats, but I think that because cats are a little more independent, I don't know, it's something about Bella. It's like the dog. It's like she like more in your space and I'm more tuned into her. Dang, why is my head itching? So with the Chinese, we think of like the Chinese as they are the head surveillors are like they do the most surveillance. They really surveilling their people. They not playing. If you think something, they know in China, they not playing. But this article, or at least the headline, is like it's not nearly as all-seeing as the government wants you to think. And it kind of reminds me a lot of times we have propaganda advanced against us and then we start advancing that propaganda like, oh, you can't fight city hall, we can't win, we just, masses everywhere, they got us beat, white people are smarter than us, they don't do anything on accident, they ahead of us, like you start getting into this like kind of vibration where you've taken you've taken a seed and you blowing it up, you breathing life into it, you bigging it up, you making it bigger than what it is. And that's to their advantage. It's to their advantage for us to think, oh, black people ain't skit, black people ain't never done nothing, black people never will do nothing. It's to their advantage for us to think they watching everything you do, you can't win, so you might as well just put your head down and go to work and make a lot of money and don't worry about pure manipulation, don't worry about doing nothing for your people because you can't win no way. So it's sort of like this idea, the mirror effect, the recycling of energy, positive or negative. Hmm. um so it's just a reminder that a lot of times this idea, like, we need to continue to remember that we have won and we are winning. We are resisting, we continue to resist, we continue to thrive. Get back to your warrior instinct. We need to keep speaking that to ourselves and advancing that propaganda to ourselves. No nation can survive based on lying to its own. And no matter what, how it appears, oh, it appears that there are cameras everywhere, oh, it appears that they just know everything, that they can see everything, that they're just running things, that they just put their plan in place and everything is working out. Uh-oh, the AI Dow is going to sue for sexual harassment or discrimination. Watch out, the AI community is gonna me too. Hashtag me too. I was trying to think of something cute with the computers. We need the comedians on the line to come up. Is going to rise up with the Me Too allegations and gender discrimination. Here we go. They will justify this in the US by saying it will lessen crime. Yeah, so I like that headline because it just reminds me that like, and even I when I think about the Philadelphia move bombing, and when I finally watched the movie on it, and it was like, wow, it was like, I keep saying it was less than 20 people, but it was really less than that. And a lot of those people were children. I'm like, so now they're using the resources of the city, the resources of the state, and I think resources of the federal government, because I think when you start bombing people, that's at least state level, that's not city level. So they using all of that on 20 people, and they say, what we're doing doesn't matter. Of course what we're doing matters. Of course, every single person, every single no to you, and every single yes to us, to black us. Hey, radical home sister. Every single yes is, that's important, it's valuable, it counts, it matters, it's shaggy. It's important, so remember that, stay focused, and you know the truth. They say people have a tail. The society has a tail, and we have to learn to, like, I don't really know if his submarine made it over there or not, but there was something I saw yesterday where it's like he putting up pictures. Um, we need to see those brothers locked up as a community lost that we need back. The submarine, they was like, it's pictures of it, but they don't know if it's in Thailand or not. Like, he advancing his agenda as, I guess, the white savior. He gonna go over and save the little brown people. But the Thailand people are like, no, your little submarine is not practical here. Detroit charter revision on primary ballot as opposed to amendments for voters. I see blessing. I don't know what that means. Detroit charter revision on primary ballot. I probably need to research that, huh, Toussaint? Um, so yeah, and it's going to come up later on the news feed, but all of the children and their coach are out of the cave. And it is really interesting because while those, was it 12 children in the coach, while those 13 people were in the cave in Thailand, there were like 31 people or something who died. The sub was too big for the cave. Right. I don't know if it was or it wasn't, but I'm glad that they got their people out, I guess, using their resources. And that's what we have to do. We have to get our people out using our resources. They not coming to save us. We got to save ourselves. We get to save ourselves. We get to use our kaumba, our creativity, to save ourselves. What could be better? Scientists have just discovered the world's oldest Dan Gilbert's charter revision. Oh, I don't know anything about it. I do know about Dan Gilbert. I don't know. I guess I'm out of the loop in terms of Detroit politics. I looked at, you sent a link to a video, and it was just like it was some men in suits, and I'm like, what is this video? What does it mean? I don't understand. But I did look at it. I'm like, I don't know if I'll look at another video again because I didn't understand what it meant. Scientists have just discovered the world's oldest color, and it's a billion-year-old bright pink. Yeah, I don't, yeah. Interesting. Biso na Biso. Maybe that was the group. I didn't know who it was because I thought I would hit the link and be like, yes, ma'am. The black is on the way. Is that Kaumba? I forgot those beautiful words. This black. Kaumba, creativity. That's one of the Kwanzaa principles. Kaumba. That's my favorite one is Kuji Chagalia because I like the way it sounds and it means self-determination. I mean, I like what it means. But then Kaumba, I like I feel like, I don't know, more African. Kaumba. Kuji Chagalia. So I don't know what this means, the world's oldest color, and it's bright pink, but that's the headline. Hackers stole 13.5 million from cryptocurrency exchange Bancor. The whole cryptocurrency thing, I just don't understand what's going on, but somebody stole 13.5 million. And I guess the transactions or whatever are unmonitored or something. Brothers that get that drunk. Okay. So anyway, $13.5 million. That that's a lot of money to get stolen, I think, to me. Dissident Li Jiabu's widow, Lu Zia, allowed to leave China. Kaumba does not sound more African than that other Japanese term. Is Kaumba Japanese? Kaumba. It sounds like drums. Kaumba. It's all electronically generated. Dangerous proposal. Yes, you need a buyer. Okay. Yeah. So this man was, I guess, a Chinese dissident. I don't know. I guess he's been murdered. I don't. Kombucha. Oh, that stuff where you grow the mushroom and you feed it sugar, and you grow the mushroom and then you drink the water and you keep feeding it and it keeps growing, and you can break off a piece and give it to somebody and it's just growing. I remember probably about 15, 20, maybe even longer than that, I was introduced to it longer ago than that, and it's kind of like, it's weird to me. So anyway, his widow, he's not alive anymore, but his widow was living in China, and I guess they wouldn't let her leave. And I don't know if she was like concerned that she was going to be murdered and killed as well, or what, but it's a headline that she's leaving the country. That makes it feel to me like she's been wanting to leave, and now she's been allowed to leave, and she's probably signed like, oh, I made it out, or, okay, they're allowing me to leave. And now once she gets out the country, she'll be like, I'm out of the country. And then maybe if she lives she should be concerned. Oh, LIU is the first word. XIAOBO. Oh, the last charter was the emergency manager, then bankruptcy. Oh, the charters are the bullshit. I've been fussing about because I've been hanging out at Belle Isle for the last couple of weeks, like heavy, and I've just been fussing and fussing and fussing about the stillation of our city park. Belle Isle is a beautiful, wonderful place right here in the city, and it's been stolen and given to the state. And I kind of feel like, why, how, why? That's our resource. And the city is 85% black, and the state is not no 85% black. And so it's being leased 400. I don't even understand what's going on and why, but it pisses me off. That's all I know. I don't know. But I do know that care about black people. Now they're trying to charge people to go on the island. But when I came back, I'm like, Belle Isle looked the way it looked when I was a kid. So what's the difference? Penske Gilbert Charter Commission. So what's the difference between the state having it and the city having it? The difference is that now it's a resource that the state has as opposed to the city. Now the white state has it instead of the black city. That's the only difference I see. No, I don't feel like they have more money. No, I don't feel like it's better maintained. And I don't know. I don't know. I was looking at something on Twitter yesterday, and somebody was like, this European, yeah, that's supposed to be the propaganda, but because it's state owned, because it's state run now, and sometimes they charge you to come on and sometimes they don't. And now I saw an article yesterday where the state police were saying that they want to be armed on the island. They want it in white hands. Exactly. They want to be armed on the island or something like that. And so it's sort of like when I was growing up, it was mostly black people on the island. And now that I've been on the island the last 2 weeks, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so many white people. It's so many Arab people. I mean, now there are black people, but they wanted it in white hands so that they could have access to that resource. And not that anybody was stopping them from going on the island, but they want to feel safe and secure to go on the island in the ways that they are. And I guess they about to like try to arm the people, the state police who are monitoring it, or who are supposed to be, I guess since it's a state, I don't, but it was something I saw about them wanting to have like guns and stuff. Don't nobody be on the island doing nothing but sitting there looking at the water, or riding in one of the ponds, or looking at the animals, or looking in the Detroit River, or picnicking, dancing, listening to music. When I was a kid, we just style and profile. Sounds like a takeover. Haven't experienced that in New York City yet. Probably soon. Right, because yeah, I don't want to talk about. I don't. Yeah. The boys in the Thai cave were given anti-anxiety drugs during the rescue to help them get out. Alive, all 12 boys and their coach are safely out of the Thai caves after a 2-week ordeal that gripped the world. Oh, so I don't know if I was saying that, but like everybody was so concerned about the boys. I don't know if it was because it was little kids, but it was like all over the world. We've been talking about it steadily. People dying here and dying there, and in distress here and in distress there. And it seemed like that story was just like everybody's darling, everybody's, I don't know what's up. It's like the sun is coming up. I can't get a good. The most grassroots community in Detroit, Grandmont Rosedale, abounds in homegrown outlets. Now, the community theater that I was a part of is in Grandmont Rosedale. Penske's insurance was too high with the deer on the island. State troops always armed. No, it's something I saw. Hey, Bonafide, thanks for the flower. Oh, I like that one. It's something I saw yesterday, and I wasn't paying close attention. It might be in my news feed. I might have seen it on Twitter, but it was a different, it was something. It wasn't that the state police were armed. It was something in terms of like an escalation. So if they are armed, they want to be armed with it was something that was disturbing. Um, I can't remember. But I like Grandmont Rosedale. I like the housing stock that they have in that neighborhood. I like the engagement of the community. I like that we have the community theater over there in the community house. I like that they have that community house in the park. I like to see the black children out there playing soccer or whatever they're doing. I like, get out of here with your regional mess to sign. No, talk that Detroit talk. Talk it. We like Detroit talk because we love Detroit. Military grade weapons for war zones. Yeah, we love Detroit. Everybody, all of y'all should come to Detroit. Then we can fight. A conversation on Black space and the importance of dialogue in changing Detroit. Now, this is this place at dang, what is it called? The Urban Consulate, and I've never been to a talk there, but I've seen them advertised and thought, oh, that sounds interesting. That sounds interesting, but it never coincided with my schedule. So I don't really know what's up with the Urban Consulate. Um, but I think there's always like this idea. Oh, look how they run. Look how she runs. That's terrible to talk about how somebody runs. I remember when at the end of I was working, I told y'all I was volunteering 1 year at the Detroit Marathon, and at the Detroit is the test for this country. Yep. And at the end, a lot of things. Although one thing that I saw in terms of the school takeover, I was reading a book, and the way that the school takeover happened here, the way that the book said it had happened in New York first, and I was like, whoa. Um, yeah. But I was at the end of the marathon, like mile 24, like, and I was like a volunteer. So it was like, okay, go. You're almost there. Keep going. You can do it. That's what I was supposed to do. And it was like some people would come through, they'd be like, and you'd be like, go, you can do it. But in my head, I'm like, oh my God, stop, rest, fall out. You can't do it. But they'd be like, And then some people would come through, like, the East Africans, they'd be like looking like they was just strolling. 46% illiteracy in Detroit. Well, where are the schools at? Like, I don't understand where the schools are. I'm so confused. Like, what happened to the schools? Where are the schools? Where did the children go? And then these charter schools, they're not, they're getting the resources, but they don't have any expectations. And then they're not run by us. And then they de-unionize them. And then they're throwing all of the black teachers out. So who's teaching the children? They don't care nothing about the children. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's Nicaragua unrest, bishops anger as people die in clashes. Haiti suspends fuel price hike after protests. So I got somebody emailed me. Let me see if I can find this article. Has anybody been talking about? I don't watch the news, so I didn't know, but I got an article emailed to me about the equal opportunity, not equal charters, 33% interest loans from banks. Yeah, the charters and the person who's running education. Now she comes, speaking of test case, she come from Detroit. She come from Michigan. They've been doing their exploitative bullshit, non-educational mess here for a while. Okay, let me see if I can find this article because I didn't know. Hey, Rottweiler, how you doing? I didn't know. And I don't watch the news, regularly, so I don't know what's being reported on the news. Where's my hub at? But I flagged this article, and I saw this article. Somebody emailed it to me, maybe 2 days ago. Maybe 3 days ago. Sunday. Urgent. The people of Haiti have risen up in rebellion against the corrupt U.S.-backed government of Moise. Yesterday, Friday, July 6, 18, at about 5:30 p.m. Haiti time, Radio Tamoon reported demonstrations and flaming barricades blocking city streets in many neighborhoods of Port-au-Prince. People are demanding the resignation of the U.S. UN occupation government of Jovenel Moise. Radio Timoon journalists had reported 5 deaths as of yesterday afternoon, with many wounded by gunfire at the hands of the Haitian police and government-sponsored paramilitary. The government announced an increase of about $1.20 a gallon in the price of gasoline. Oh, that's what this headline was referring to. This added to the people's outrage against the blatant, corrupt repression, home demolitions, land and property thefts and that land grab theme is a theme throughout the world, just land grab. Thefts by the U.S./UN occupation imposed government. Another political riot in Haiti. What else is new? This are my people. We are fed up. You can't jack gas prices 33% up or more. Peace and blessings. Hey, Rod. Okay. I didn't know. The past few days were marked, and they say in Costa Rica that in the I think there were like 2 coups, and then the last time that the people took over, and they got rid of the military, and they said, "Good morning, have a great day at work. Thanks for saying hi, Jamaica." And they said that the people were like, "We invest in the money in education," and they have like 98% literacy, or some high, like they're like a high literacy, or one of the highest literacy. But just that whole military thing, like the uprising. I hope the Haitian family keep it going. Fuck the gas prices, protest everything, get their land back. Wow, that's fantastic. Now you got me yearning to do the same. I think I will. Oh, I missed it. Um, The past few days were marked by an intensification of what appears to be a systematic campaign of land grabs, resulting in home burnings and demolitions to drive out impoverished families in working class neighborhoods. People on social media and Radio Timoon saw and heard the heart-wrenching testimony and images of long-term residents of the Port-au-Prince neighborhood of Pellerine 5 in front of their illegally demolished homes. According people People are just sometimes cruel in how they treat other people. Um, According to the news reports and the stunned and suddenly homeless residents, about 35 to 40 homes were demolished without warning under orders of their new neighbor, the imposed dictator, Havanel Moise. He did not want his working class neighbors near the upscale house he recently moved into. Um, by the evening of Friday the 6th and going into Saturday the 7th, people in most of Port-au-Prince metropolitan area, including Pétion, Ville des Mas, Carrefour, Tabare, had joined the mobilization. Reports that highways and streets are blocked by barricades and demonstrations occurring in other cities throughout Haiti. A call is beginning to capture this grassroots resistance mobilization. Decoupage, déchoucage, resistion, meaning uprooting the corrupt system and making the thieves in the government give back the money that they have been stealing away from the Haitian people. Attached is a video of the demolished homes in Pellerin 5 in Port-au-Prince. So that's coming from a National Lawyers Guild email. So I didn't know that was going on in Haiti. So as we go back into the news feed, so prayers out, to Haiti. Y'all know I have special love for Haiti because it's Haiti, and because it's Haiti. Classism is such a horrible thing. Classism is any hierarchy. I think hierarchies are evil. That's my theory. I think hierarchies are are evil. They're not equal. We must support Haiti for all they've done for us. Right, like the spiritual legacy, the emotional legacy, the idea, like that the legacy of an idea of freedom and us getting freedom is important to me, and us being free is important. I'll have to do a report about it to spread the word. Go Haiti. Yeah, I'll look forward to it because I haven't researched it much, and I feel like it's all these things that are interesting I want to know more about, but I I shouldn't say I never, but a lot of times I don't get to do the in-depth research that I want to do about stuff or really deeply understand stuff. I think I'm more Gemini oriented than Sagittarius oriented. I think that I don't deeply study things, and that's just my nature. It's not a, but as I go back into my newsfeed, Habaragani, and Habaragani today is, hi, Ayafo. Habaragani today is, do we remember? Does anybody want to drop it in? You can say it in English or Swahili. Black liberation. No leader speaks those words anymore. Peace, brother. Shoot, I hear people talking about black liberation all the time, girl. Who you around? You better get with some people who talk about black liberation. I think African Esquire has an organization. What's the name of her organization? I think it's got Black and Liberation in the title. Okay. I don't know if he's alive. Dang, I thought, okay, so we talked about Haiti. So again, prayers out to Haiti, and prayers out to all revolutionaries throughout the world, and prayers out to all people who want justice and peace, and prayers out to all of us who are willing to fight and work for justice and peace. Yes, leaders. Are you a leader? There's a man in Detroit. I don't know where he is, but his name was Jimmy Blackman Rutherford, and he used to do music. And one of his songs, and somebody had given me the song, and I was like, ew. But over the years, I think about it all the time. If you're looking for a leader, bump, bump. If you're looking for a leader, flump, flump. Look in the mirror. Dang, it's wrong. But that's how it goes. The point is, if you're looking for a leader, look in the mirror and be the leader you want to see. We got to do what we want, what we think that other people should be doing. That's what we need to be doing. And if we think that other people should be doing it and we're not doing it, then we need to be quiet and be about the business of doing what we've been assigned to do. Because I'm sure that we have plenty of work to do. I know that I do. I'm talking about civil rights coons. Well, if you don't consider them your leaders, then why are you paying any attention to what they're doing? Pay attention to the people who are inspiring, who are doing things that are adding value to you, that that you feel are adding value to the community. Support them. They need your energy. They need your love. They need your attention. They want you to notice them and love them. Okay. Incarceration disparity behind wage gap between black and white men. So this is coming off of Moguldom, which is another, I guess I told y'all it just appeared a couple months ago. So they're saying that the incarceration disparity, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. That's the Michael Jackson song. I'm asking him to change his ways. Ayapo is a mess, though. He ain't even said nothing. Why are you picking on Ayapo? That's our friend. So, and maybe you could say that incarceration is between the wage gap between black and white men, because before we were incarcerated in prisons, yes, with that wage inequality in prison. Can't stay just poking my head in. Before we were incarcerated in prisons in this country, in a short period of history that feels like a long period of histories, we were incarcerated in prison work camps and incarcerated in people's homes and forced to work and be sex slaves for them and for them to steal our labor. So I guess that incarceration, has been like the theme in our experience in this country, which seems like forever, but is really a short time when you look at the whole historical landscape, the whole historical timeline. It's just a short time, but it feels like forever because we don't live that long, but we our memory lives long enough to know, when we keep ourselves conscious of it, that 400-500 years, that ain't nothing. That's like a blip. The King's Path. Is this the scariest walk in the world? I think it was in Asia somewhere, and it was like on the side of a mountain outside. I don't think I would go on it. Yeah. Bye, Ayapo. I'm not for sale. Have a wonderful, good day. Wife of missing Chinese lawyer. Dang, we were just talking about a widow of a dead activist. Wife of missing Chinese lawyer. I don't know if he's alive. That made me feel sad. I always feel sad. Like I think that, when somebody dies and when you know they're died, when you know they're dead, that's kind of can be sad in a way too. But I think that that limbo and that not knowing is really, really sad. Like, you don't know. Like your child disappears. You don't know where your child is. Your husband is arrested. You don't know where he is and what happened. You know, that's just sad to me. I think about, like when people were kidnapped, as folks were being kidnapped in Africa, some of the people didn't know what had happened to their people. They were just gone, and they looked for them. And the movie I was talking about the other day, I Am Slave. The child got taken. It was like a brouhaha. The child got taken. The daddy didn't know where she was, and he was going all over looking for her for years and years and years. He was going all over looking for her for years and years and years, and he didn't know what had happened to her. Now at the end of the movie, it was kind of a happy ending in that way, but I just think that limbo is really hard. Like it's hard. Like if somebody has made their transition, you're like, okay, well, you made your transition. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's like you can be at peace in a way. But it's like when you don't know, like they're alive or not alive. I feel like they're alive. Do I feel like they dead? How do I feel? I don't know. It's sad. So prayers out to this woman. I don't know who she is. She's the wife of the missing Chinese lawyer. And to prayers out to anyone who, is in limbo. Prayers out to anyone who is in limbo, you know. Florida CFO asked black man, how many different mothers do your children have before restoring his civil rights? I don't know what the hell kind of story that is or what the hell kind of headline that is, but it sounds very offensive to me. I don't know why a CFO, which I think of as a chief financial officer, is restoring somebody's civil rights. That was confusing to me. This is coming off of Atlanta Black Star, so if anybody want to look at the article, I don't know. But and it's so that part is confusing. Like, why is the CFO restoring somebody's civil rights? But also, I think the main point of the headline is that the person is asking, how many baby mamas do you have? Like that has anything to do with anything, and like that's any of your business. And also implying that black people and black men have a lot of children with a lot of different people, which I feel like is propaganda. I think that there are some people who are on the fringes who are like that, but I don't really think that it's like the mainstream behavior. It sounds crazy as hell. It almost doesn't sound real. Like it's like it feels like over this last year or maybe even 6 months, it's like it's escalating. Like it's like they're really, really getting out of pocket and really, really showing their behinds. Like, it's just really like, really? Like it's just like thing after thing after thing. I know the Beast is wondering why we haven't unified on just getting back at them. Just saying, stop misspelling my name, Ayapo. The Daniels, Mapervius, Clendenton, Orphan Yappa. Um, so yeah, I don't know. And then here we are again with Florida. I hope Tracy's not on the line. But here we are again with Florida. Like it seemed like and then it's also Florida. Like, yeah, it just seems like they're doing the most. Y'all, the Cardinal is back. And I noticed this truck that I'm parked in front of, this SUV, it's white and there's bird boo boo all over it, like where the bird comes and sits, like on the rear view mirrors and all. And so it's not new because I'm just noticing the boo boo over the last few days. I mean, so it's new. It hasn't been doing it forever and ever and ever, or it would have been. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But hi, Red Cardinal. Pregnant woman arrested for a traffic violation says she was beaten while shackled by Jacksonville sheriff. Is Jacksonville in Florida? I'm just waiting for someone to say something like slick to that, like a much needed chance to blow off some steam. KKK member. Right, the KKK member. They like escalate, escalate, escalate. In news, in KKK news today, escalate, escalate. Really show you behind. Not on my usual computer. Cut a brother some slack, Sonia sees. So I don't know the specifics. Right truck or van, could be the feds. My neighbor is not here anymore. And so this is her vehicle. I think that her son has put her in a home. I'm not really sure because when I asked about her, he said that she was at a she was living in a condo or something. But I don't know why she wouldn't have her vehicle with her, you know? So I don't know. And it's been a while now. And this vehicle basically just stays parked. And every once in a while he'll move it. And like the bird boo on it, he hadn't even cleaned that off. So I don't know if he notices it. See, I sit right here. The door is over there. So he probably doesn't even know that there's a cardinal that likes to hang out and look in the mirrors on this vehicle. He probably don't even know. Should I tell him? Say the safe word, Brother Yapo. That might calm her down a bit. So I don't know the specifics in this case if the pregnant woman was beat or not beat, but it would not surprise me because who we dealing with and what we dealing with, that's their nature, that's their way. Whether they know she pregnant or not, they don't care. File a missing persons report. Just kidding. I know. I don't know. But she was very sweet when I moved here. And it was just a short time that I got to interact with her. And I would always, can Ethiopia's Abiy Ahmed make peace with Africa's North Korea? So all of a sudden, I'm like, are they calling Eritrea Africa's North Korea? Are they saying the person who runs Eritrea is like a dictator and cuckoo crazy? Is that what they're trying to say? I wasn't really quite sure because we've been getting, I pray she's okay. Yeah, I pray for her too. And I think about her, all the time. The police tend to target our pregnant sisters these days. This accident is absolutely horrendous. Yeah. Um, yeah. So we've been seeing a lot of stories about Ethiopia and Eritrea and the unification. And I read this article that said that um I read K Queen. So is it King or K Queen? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I read an article that was saying that the new leader of Ethiopia is like this big diplomat, soft targets, who the mama and the babies and the pregnant people, who is saying that the leader of Ethiopia is like a strong negotiator, a lawyer. It's not like the USA is a better ally. Hashtag Haiti. Um, that he's like just got this skill set in terms of getting along with people and getting along with nations and leading. So when he came into office, I remember seeing the headlines. We talked about him where he was letting out political prisoners, I guess, who were Eritreans, who he was opening up the press. He was doing, he was like doing, and they're saying that he might be considered for a Nobel Peace Prize. Now I don't really know like the inner workings of the dynamics, but I do know that I like the idea of seeing African people on Al-Kibalan getting along, and people on Al-Kibalan getting together, and people on Al-Kibalan uniting. I like the idea of seeing brothers and sisters working together and becoming friends. Can't we all just get along? I mean, us, not us with them, but us with us. Yeah, I like to see that. So I don't really know the details of the story, but that aspect of the story or that idea I like. Africa unity is needed. Yeah, and any example of it, I'm here for, and I want to like, magnify it and breathe life into it and love it, or as they say, love on it. Um, Family says Minneapolis man shot while running away was no threat. You think so? You think he was running? This is my hey Baba. No. You coming to talk about Costa Rica? Okay, I'll be in a minute. I'm gonna hurry up. All of Al Kibalan needs to unite and move beyond these borders and drawn by the colonizers. Right, right. Um, the man shot while running away was no threat. Of course. First of all, he's running away. He's not even walking away. He's running away because he's afraid for his life, because he thinks that you're going to shoot him in the back. Hey, Mama Joyce. Demands charges against cops involved. No, I can't take my time because this is the trip to Costa Rica. We got to get it organized. Microsoft has a new super small $400 Surface tablet, and it's taking on the iPad and the MacBook Air at the same time. Your neighborhood is so nice. I love your melanated neighbors. Now, they don't live by us, but these are the people who organized the trip to South Africa that my mother went on. And they have Gym Tours, I think it's called. So they are organizing, because we said so, the trip to Costa Rica. February 2019, everybody should come to Costa Rica. Cleveland uses literature to empower youth, overcome social divides. Cleveland uses literature to empower youth, overcome social divides. That story is coming off of Yahoo. I don't know what that's about. Black Philadelphia woman rightfully scolds white coworker who called cops on teens selling water. KKK memo. Police, Texas toddler dies from self-inflicted gunshot wound. And I think this was like a brown black child, or like a black child. I don't know what's up. I don't have any children in the house, but I would be concerned having children in the house and a gun. But then again, when I knew, like in my granddaddy's house, I knew that there was a gun in the house, and I also knew to keep my hands off of it too. It was like by the time I knew there was a gun in the house and where it was, August 19th, Jamestown, Virginia, we should plan something. By the time I knew there was a gun in the house and where it was, I had enough sense, like, I wasn't really messing with it. But and I know a lot of people grew up with guns in the house, and I don't know, because I know that sometimes when you're around like little kids and they can be around like electronics, if you show them how to use it, they're proper. If you don't show them, they be like, ugh, they don't know how to act. Like, you have to train them. So I don't know if the people then didn't, like, say, look, this is a gun, this is serious, because I feel like even at 2, I mean, 2 is kind of young, but I don't know. It's a sad story. So prayers out to the baby, who got a hold of the gun according to this headline, and, made their transition. And prayers out to the family and the community. And I know I would just be heartbroken if some child got a hold of my gun, and, that would just be devastating. So I just, prayers out to everybody involved, and let us, I don't know what we need to do in order to be safer, with weapons, but let us do the things that we know we need to do to be safer, for the children and the family and the community. Trump's longtime personal driver just sued him over allegations the president stiffed him. So what I'm curious about is, does the man pay anybody? And how does he pay people? And who gets paid and who doesn't get paid? Because I would just figure that he don't pay anybody. But I don't understand. I don't understand how people have been with him. Is this say a long time? So why he stay with them long time, paying them right, and if he ain't treating them right? It's pronounced king, meaning I have the heart of the king with the spirit of the queen. Oh, well, there you go, king. Teach me, educate me. Okay, I can't really see your avatar good. I can, so like, if I see you on the chat, I'll probably be like more like, oh, okay, okay. So I don't know nothing about Zero and the people around him. It seemed like the people around him are skitty. They seem like they are, like, none of them seem like they have any qualities that are admirable or of any substance. They seem like janky, yucky butt people. Like my new avatar. I can't really see your new avatar, but I can see it's new. People are telling Kim Kardashian to sit like a lady in a recent photo, and the comments reveal a concerning pattern of sexism. Not so much because I'm interested in the Kim K or whatever, but because I do know that, like, people will come up to me and they'll be like, "Smile!" And you're like, why are you trying to tell me what to do with my mouth and my face? And I feel like if she's sitting the way she's sitting, he pays for all his services with monopoly money. That's why he got so wealthy. Well, inheriting it from his super racist pops. I feel like he's a hustler and a scam artist. But it seems like if you're a hustler and a scam artist, you could only maintain relationships for so long before people are like, oh, you're a hustler and a scam artist. I'm not giving you any more of my money. It seems like it wouldn't be sustainable. I don't know how it's sustainable. So I just don't like the idea of people telling people, what to, like grown people. Now, I guess if they're your children, you can tell them what to wear. Sit up, do this, pull your skirt. But I feel like if she's a grown person, then why is anybody telling her what to do? That's how I feel, and I don't appreciate it. And I feel like people feel like they're entitled to tell women, what to do, how to sit, what to wear. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Don't tell me what to do. Go tell yourself what to do. Starbucks is killing. He had his bad reputation. Don't spread fast enough. Starbucks is killing. It's iconic. Well, I know in my business, I remember I made mistakes when I was first starting my business, and then all of a sudden I had a revelation. I was like, wow, there are so many people in the world who will never know I made these mistakes. I have plenty of people that I can start over fresh with. So maybe that's like, as a hustler, as a scammer, it's so many people who you can hustle and scam. And I guess is it PT Barnum who said there's a sucker born every day. So I guess you could just keep, it's an abundance of people who just don't know who you can hustle, I guess. But now, yeah, Starbucks is killing. It's iconic. I don't even like to say that word anymore, and I never liked them anyway. It's iconic green straws, and it wants people to drink out of a sippy cup instead. At first, I was kind of like, why do you even need straws to drink? Like, we've been sold this idea that you need straws, like, do you really need straws to drink? Now, if you go to a restaurant and their cups are dirty and you're using a straw because you don't want to put your mouth on the lid, why are you drinking out of a dirty cup? There's a sucker born every minute. Should be iconically avoided. Yes, they should. And then I saw this tweet where somebody was saying, that they're in favor of getting rid of straws, but not for people who need them. And it was talking about like able-bodied people, or, like, I guess some people can't sit up and they, I don't really know. But I mean, I feel like we use straws a lot, and I don't really feel like it's necessary. And I guess the sippy cup is if you're driving and you don't want to pour I don't know. But anyway, they don't want to mess up their lipstick. Oh. Well, you have a tube, you just put more on. Lipstick is not really that complicated. See, I don't have a tube with me to put more on, but I'm just saying, normal people, you just keep your gloss or your lipstick with you. Women, normal women. Raiders CB cornerback, Garyon Conley sues rape accuser, says false accusations cost him millions. Ma'am. I feel like that's a whole story I'm not going to get into. Trump denies U.S. opposition to WHO breastfeeding resolution. I am a lady. Some people call Beyonce King B or King Bay, and they call her B and Bay. But anyway, I was reading something about it, or, I saw somebody said that the other day, and I was thinking about like that whole masculinity, femininity thing. And, I know somebody who's Shu, and typically Shu is like masculine, and, Trump denies U.S. So breastfeeding. Anyone who takes a step into Starbucks at this point should BYO straw and BYO coffee, then use the bathroom and leave. Bring your own straw, bring your own coffee, leave your pee or whatever else you got, and then leave. ISIS is putting up stronger fight than the U.S. anticipated, and that could complicate Trump's plans. So they say they're trying to leave Iran, Iraq, wherever they are. I don't know where they are in the Middle East. But the problem they saying is that ISIS is putting up a fight. I feel like if I'm trying to leave and you putting up a fight, that's all the more reason for me to leave. Just get out, go. That's how I feel. I know that's like probably very unsophisticated, but I just kind of feel like the United States is in too many people's business, too many countries' business, too many places. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much, and I don't like it. 13 things no one tells you about losing weight, according to someone who has done it. I don't have time. Banning plastic straws sounds annoying, but here's why it's a fight. Cities must win. I guess there was what is it called? Like there's like a an international day where they focus on the earth. Is it World Health Day? Day of Earth? It's something. I'm not understanding black people going into Starbucks, Waffle House. Right. Denny's. Who go to Denny's? Don't y'all know about Denny's? Um, so anyway, for World Health Day, I don't know what it is, but Earth Day, maybe it's just Earth Day. For Earth Day, I guess the theme or the issue was plastic and maybe plastic straws. I didn't know that, but I heard about that after the fact. So I guess that's why Earth Day. I guess that's why there are all these stories about straws and plastic, because I guess that's like the new agenda for the year for the Earth Day community. But there's a way to fight. So, okay. San Francisco's minimum wage is now $15 an hour, but the article said it was $14 an hour before. And here's how it stacks up to other major cities. In San Francisco, at $15 an hour, you need to work 160 hours a week in order to have a two-bedroom apartment. So I guess if it's two adults, they both need to work two full-time jobs in order to afford a part-time job. I mean, a two-bedroom apartment. That's what I read. Two full-time jobs, not a job enough. Two full-time jobs. Two people working two full-time jobs. 9 sex therapists reveal the questions they get asked the most. The main theme was, am I normal? Everybody wants to know if they're normal. Am I normal? Is it normal for me to do this? Is the amount of time we have sex a week, is that normal? Is this normal? Is that normal? That seemed to be the theme. And that makes sense to me. I think everybody like, am I normal? And what is normal really? I feel like if you're two consenting adults and that's what you want to do, then that's normal for y'all in the context of your relationship. And I feel like who you are is normal for you. Chrissy Teigen breastfeeding twins courts controversy. The people are like, cover them up. Why are you showing your breastises? Don't nobody want to see that. But meanwhile, they just happy all day to see naked women walking around not breastfeeding. White normal or right. The sad thing is that corn-based celluloid, which is biodegradable, could have replaced plastics a long time ago. Is that what you said? So I'm also not here for people being upset by people breastfeeding. And like, why we get so upset with the people breastfeed the babies? We need to chill with that. Not me personally, because I think it's good. Could have replaced plastic several decades ago. That's a long time ago. With hugs, leaders of Ethiopia, Eritrea restore relations. Bring down the wall. Ethiopia and Eritrea agreed to open their borders after nearly 20 years of conflict. You made me hungry when you said corn bona fide. Samsung opens the world's biggest smartphone facility in India. Ford is saying hello to cars and hello to batteries. So they say Ford is only going to make the Mustang, and other than that, trucks, no more cars. But maybe they're saying hello. I don't know. Japan is spending years making one train line a minute faster. I think Japan is the country. Remember, we were talking about it was 2 times when the train was like it left a second early or a millisecond early, and that was like news, and the people were upset. I think that's Japan. They like, we gonna make this train a minute faster. I don't care how much we have to invest in it. I know. I could do with some warm cornbread this morning. Ooh, that sounds good. I'm almost finished with my cleanse. I'll be Thursday is the last day. And it'll be like 20 something days. I mean, I'm just so amazed. Now this is I'm hungry now, so it's probably making it feel more intensified, but it's almost over. Cleanse, raw foods. I've been doing them since June 21st, and I'll stop July 12th. Or July 12th will be my last day. California DA who wondered why someone hasn't shot Maxine Waters yet is still employed. I could never share my cornbread with anyone. I would never share I heard straws give gas. Oh, really? And I just feel like drinking out of the plastic, like the plastic. No. Okay. So go to hell, California DA and all of the people. George Washington Carver. Remember the Black Radical Congress? Opinion. There's nothing new about it. Apparently, George Washington Carver found a way to make plastics out of soybeans. Um, I don't have time to go into the story, but it's coming off of Atlanta Black Star, and I thought it was pretty interesting, the little bit that I saw. 12-year-old lawn cutting CEO gets police called on him yet again, thanks to nosy white neighbors. It's the same people who called on him. KKK memo. Meet Karen Waris Ola Malikian. Ola Malekan. The 11-year-old artist whose drawings are getting worldwide recognition. I think we looked at some of his stuff a couple weeks ago. But yay for Kareem Waris Olamilekan. Black, I guess. Yeah, I think he's black. Alabama police search for suspects after 16-year-old shot dead in a drive-by. So rest in peace to the baby who was shot, his family and community. Yeah. A cat crawled onto a TV commentator's head during a news interview because that's what cats do. The cat don't know you on the news? I don't believe so. Corn is technically a grain. Grandmother who used an oxygen tank to breathe dies after power company cuts the electricity from her Newark home. And the people are saying that she had paid the bill or whatever. There's like some dispute about that. It seems like if you're supplying electricity to people and people have oxygen tanks and life and death things, there should be a whole different system. There should be some dang, they getting ready to leave. There should be something in place as a safeguard against, cutting the electricity on and the power on people. Like you're killing people over money or over supposed money. You gonna kill, we killing people now? Oh, you owe me $500, so I'm killing you. That's what corporations do. That is what corporations do. But that's really janky. Oxygen users should not have their power cut off. I knew about Carver's soybean inventions. However, I'm going to research a little on corn celluloid. Yes, do that research. Fans side with Tammy Roman after Evelyn Lozada seemingly makes fun of her diabetes with crackhead remarks. Rohingya crisis, Myanmar to try Reuters journalists who reported on the massacre. So the people reported this massacre is going on, and now the people who made the report are going to be in trouble with the government because the government is like, don't be out here reporting our business. That's family business. Keep it on the inside. Is that what they doing? I'm really fascinated by journalists these days and journalism and, getting the truth, speaking the truth, letting the word out, and like how that happens and who do you trust and how do you trust and who wants to keep, I'm just interested in the whole thing. A former Facebook moderator says she had to review 8,000 posts a day and it made her numb to child porn. Bye. I'm not editing. I'm live. Yeah, it's my notes on the news feed. It's where I read the news. Here come Bella. She just jumped in the car. Sorry, I didn't know or I wouldn't have done it. I missed them. Okay. So 8,000 posts a day of, I guess, all of the things that people are like, this is wrong, this is bad, this is awful. And it made her numb. And I guess, when I think about us, like, we're watching like, a story a day, a story every other day, 2 or 3 stories a day about somebody getting shot, somebody having Facebook in his porn, shaking my head, somebody having the cops called on them, don't go to a barrel of crackers for grits. Somebody having the cops called on them for nothing. Is it making us numb? It does. I do kind of feel like numb and like, desensitized to the whole thing. And I don't know if the desensitization is good or the desensitization is bad. I think it's probably good to remember that we're humans and to feel for human beings and to stay connected to us as humans with feelings. But it does get a little overwhelming. And I don't know if it's like maybe we shouldn't talk about it so much. Maybe we shouldn't know about what's going on. I'm not really sure what the response is. But I could see how sitting around looking at 8,000 posts a day would make you kind of like numb and would be kind of disgusting and disturbing. Desensitization is bad. But I mean, how much can you take before you get desensitized? So just, prayers out for all of us that we can, remain connected to our humanity and the humanity of other people, and that we can remain connected to the indignity and the injustice and see bullshit for what it is and call bullshit bullshit and not accept it and just be like, oh, well, it's just another day, same skit, different day. No. First Eastern quolls born in Australia, wild for half a century. I don't know what a quoll is. I guess it's some animal. So the first ones were born in. July 9th, 1948, first black male to win an Academy Award. James Baskett. Who is James Baskett? I never heard of James Baskett. Have you heard of James Baskett? He died. But he got the first Academy. I don't know who James. Do you know who James? What a guan? Serena Williams missed her daughter's first exodus from the church. The percentage of young adults with no religious affiliation has nearly quadrupled since 1986. Now, this is coming off of this blog that I don't know how I started following it, but during the Trump campaign, he was like pro-Trump, and I'm like, oh, I gotta unfollow, and I still haven't unfollowed. But I was sort of interested, so I never really look at the headlines from them or pay attention. Very bad. It's like getting callous to getting punched in the head. It doesn't render the punches any more justified. Um, I'm not necessarily a part of any organized religion. He was the original Uncle Remus. So some of us do know. Who? What was his name? James Corbett. What's his name? James Basket. Oh, like a basket. Okay, Uncle Remus. Who was Uncle Remus? Who was Uncle Remus? He sang zip diddy doo da, zip diddy day, my oh my. You wanted me to sing, Sonia. um, Organized religions kind of, I'm not really like a part of anything. I don't begrudge anybody who is, because I figure everybody needs to do what works for them, and when you're grown you need to follow what your heart and mind tells you to do. But I'm just interested in the mass exodus from the church. I don't know if I feel like being affiliated with a church necessarily means, hey, good morning, Chandra Muhammad. I don't know if necessarily being affiliated with a church means that you're necessarily a good person, because a lot of these like evangelical people out here seem like they're doing the most evil of all of the evil, and like how they move in the world seem really, it don't seem honorable to me. But that doesn't mean that everybody who's in an organized, I'm not, it just doesn't seem to be that closely linked to me. I don't know. But so do you think that people are getting like less moral and less good and less connected to, doing the right thing? Or do you think that people are just becoming less attached to organized religion? Or maybe it's not even, maybe this is untrue. It says it's quadrupled since 1986, like they have numbers. The number of young adults with no religious affiliation has quadrupled nearly since 1986. Couples who spend more on their weddings are more likely to get divorced, study says. So don't be out here spending a whole bunch of money on your wedding if you want to stay together. Where is the Black Radical Church listing? I don't know, but my mother used to go to a church called the Ascending Church of the Cosmic Christ, and they used to do like astrology. It was like really interesting. At that time, I was like really starting to study astrology, and some of their stuff was interesting. But the minister, he was a Scorpio, and some Scorpios, I just, it's a no for me. Although I love Scorpios, but every once in a while I run into a Scorpio where I'm like, no. And that's how that minister was. But I really liked the idea of what he was doing. I really, really, and the Moon Ministry came out of that church too. So I really liked. So that was, and they were progressive and black and spiritual and metaphysical. And it was like, woo! That's why I love Detroit. named their children Ziptity Doodah, Ziptity Day. Right, spend that wedding money on land and property. Spend that wedding money on having a savings account so that you have a cushion, so that you have a FU account. That's what somebody on the radio said. Everybody need a FU account so they can leave their job and be like FU, FU. Or just don't spend your money giving money to the people who make the white dresses. Are the people who make the white dresses us? Are the people who have the halls us? Are the people with the floral companies us? Are you familiar with the Shrine of the Black Madonna? Of course I am. Red and black. Of course I am. We love the Shrine of the Black Madonna. Everything, almost everything that's interesting in black has come out of Detroit. A new device improves behaviors in autistic children without drugs, and stocks in the tech company behind it are skyrocketing. That's a whole nother conversation I can't have today because I don't have time. Millions of Spanish wine bottles sold off as French rosé. So I guess the people think they're getting French rosé, but they're getting some kind of Spanish wine bottle. So it's like a scam to get money from people, lies, theft. You know what they say? That's definitely a must-see when I visit your city. Yeah, the shrine is not what it used to be. Like the Shrine of the Black Madonna used to be like they had the dang, what are the men called? Like how the black Muslims have like a warrior class. The shrine has like a warrior class too. And the shrine had an apartment building. The shrine had they still have apartment buildings not too far from my neighborhood. The shrine has apartment buildings. The shrine had they would do the voting platform and all of that. It was called the Black Slate. The shrine was very involved with that. The shrine was like they had land down south. But it seems like since Karamuju made his transition, it's like it's something, some of the vitality seems to have worn away. But I will tell you that when you go to the Kwanzaa celebration in Detroit, the Shrine's Day, it's one of the tightest days in terms of the Kwanzaa celebration. And every time I go, I'm like, dang, I should go like to the shrine for services. I went to the shrine once for services because my cousin used to date somebody who went there. And, we had to wear the red and black. And I thought that was fascinating. But I mean, it makes me as an adult feel like I want to go to the shrine for services and see what they're about. And some of the progressive people that in the community are members of the Shrine of the Black Madonna. So in terms of, there is still a legacy here, but it doesn't seem as vibrant as it used to be. Like the community center where a lot of stuff used to go on, they don't own that anymore. And it was a nice spot. Nissan admits falsifying admissions tests in Japan. So lying, stealing, and hurting people for money. Elon Musk's tiny submarine is headed for the Thai caves, but it may not make it in time to help. They told him, keep your tiny submarine, white man. India Delhi bus gang rapists lose death row plea. So I guess this is like the beginning, the front wave of when I started hearing about like all this violence toward women, sexual violence in particular toward women in India. I think they raped this woman on a public bus. And so these are the people, and they don't want to go to death row. That's absolutely beautiful. Sorry to hear that it's not the same as before. But institutions come and go. That's a 50-year-old institution. That, and the whole, the painting of the just the whole legacy of it is really you feel reverberations of that throughout the country and throughout our Black consciousness in this country. A lot of things. Black Muslims, the Black labor movement, like a lot of that stuff has strong vibrations here. In pictures, why Haitians have launched violent protests. Also, that's coming off of BBC, so it is off of the Black blogs. Why South Africa ex-president Jacob Zuma's son charged with corruption. Ethiopia and Eritrea declare end of war. So they've declared the end of war in the beginning of peace, love, and happiness. Must be nice. WNBA player uses LeBron's NBA deal to point out gender-based wage gap. Now, the thing about it is it's not just like Like tennis, people watch Serena and they may not even know who the equivalent male is. Like there's Monfils, there's some black male tennis players, but we don't hardly know them. We basically know Serena. But they also don't put, I heard that the very first, yes, the Nation of Islam, it is in Detroit, and the Nation of Islam comes out of Detroit. The League of Revolutionary Black Voters comes out of Detroit. I need to keep my list going because it's a lot of things that come out of Detroit that, yes, the Nation of Islam comes out of Detroit. That don't get me talking about Detroit. I need to do a whole video on Detroit and do some research so that I can, you know. So, but nobody, they don't promote the WNBA. It's not like, they put so much money and resources into the NBA. That's why they're paying the, anyway, I feel like it's a whole conversation, and it's not just that they don't pay them. It's like a whole, they don't promote it. It's a whole thing. A fifth, oh, we don't want to talk about that. Community colleges are the new business incubators. They're saying that community colleges are generating a lot of people who are entrepreneurs. ACLU, less than half of child reunions will meet deadline. So who gonna check me, boo, if I don't meet the deadline? What you gonna do? You gonna beat my behind? What you gonna do? Sydney restaurant dumped drunk customers on the street. We need more men. We need to open more in communities. We need to open more in our communities. Yeah. So if first of all, if people are drunk, more colleges. If people are drunk, are you supposed to keep giving them alcohol to the point where they like just, love it? Who gonna check me, boo? Are you supposed to just give them? That's my favorite. That's my favorite. Are you? I mean, like it seemed like as a institution, as a business, don't you have some responsibility to be like, I'm not gonna serve you? I don't know. Maybe in Australia they don't, but it just seems like morally, if somebody is just really really jacked up, you'd be like, nah, bruh, no, I'm not gonna give you any more alcohol because and then to the point where they so jacked up that you just take them and put them on the street for anything to happen to them. That doesn't seem right. Does that seem right? That doesn't seem right. That seems wrong. I think Votech schools would do our people better, though. Yep, you could lose your license. And maybe in Australia and Sydney, they have a different, I don't know what they're doing over there, but they got pictures of, and it's a woman. She just sitting on the street and she looks drunk in the photograph. So yeah, that sounds dangerous. Twitter shuts down millions of fake accounts. Basketball Wives fans give Evelyn Lozada side eye for directing anger toward Tammy Roman instead of Jennifer Williams. AME churches, black-owned banks team up to launch new partnership for long-term black wealth. I'm here for the AME church. I'm not a member of an AME church, but I'm here for the AME church because it's African Methodist Episcopalian, African. And because a lot of the progressive things that have happened in this country historically have been attached to AME churches. That's where a lot of organizing has happened. That's where a lot of information exchange has happened. That's where a lot of training has happened. That's where a lot of revolution has been fomented. That's why is the boy's name Dylan Roof, the killer. That's why he went to that church, because that church had a legacy. It was an AME. So I'm here for the AME churches. 1823 Abyssinian Church. Is that a AME church? See, I don't even know. And black-owned banks. So I'm here for churches and black-owned banks teaming up. I want to hear more about it. It's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. So if anybody wants to research it, we want to know. I want to know more about it. That sounds good. Drake's new album is the first to stream 1 billion times a week. Have I ever even heard a Drake song? I'm sure I have. Oh, that thing where he was in the box dancing funny. AME churches were the truth. Maybe they still are the truth. Maybe we'll look back in 50 years and be like, they were doing this, they were doing that. I don't know. Denmark Vesey hanged for planning the uprising, a slave revolt. Judy Johnson, one of the greatest. Okay, so let me see what his name was so we can call him by his name. We need to, I guess in the interim, we need to say Denmark Vesey, aka, or we need to say so-and-so, also known as Denmark Vesey. also called Telemake, Telemaque, Telemaque. Okay. So prayers out to the legacy of Telemaque, and may we all raise up. And it's not AME, my bad. Oh, but still, some of the churches, we have Second Baptist Church here. I don't think it's an AME, but as far as churches go, it's got a long legacy of doing stuff. Judy Johnson, one of the greatest third basemen of the Negro leagues. Judy was a man, I believe. Do you know any men named Judy? I never heard of Judy Johnson. I'm not going to go into the article, but I think Judy was a man. Cops, white teen who joked on Snapchat about killing black man, AME 1816 in Philadelphia, is not at fault. That's coming off of the Griot. Sorry to bother you is right. Minorities are judged. Why are they saying minorities? By the sound of their voice, and there's science to prove it. This coming off of Feed Proxy. Oh. This Syrian man has been stuck in an airport for months. Tattoo taboo. Spanish woman fights rejection by army. So she joined the army. She had a small tattoo, I think, and they like, you can't be in our army. You got to go. So yeah. How the people of Delhi saved 16,000 trees from the axe. Lula, judge overrules order for the Brazil ex-president's release. Pusha T, MAGA hats are this generation's KKK hoods, Ku Klux hoods. I don't know, because you can see who the people are in the MAGA hats. Maida Jabri, Iran woman dance in support of arrested teen. So I guess the teen was dancing on social media and they arrested him, and so women are dancing like, why they arrested y'all for dancing? Because they like dancing is evil, it's the devil's, you shouldn't dance, it's too sexy. I don't know. But anyway, women are dancing in support of the child. Insurance giant stops covering firms that depend on coal. New White House communications chief's wife made way too many racist tweets to delete. Why don't they just delete her account? Oh, because they don't have to hide. They just out in the open with it. Oh, okay. Vacationing while black. Exec finds racist note in his hotel room. The 4 boys rescued from the Thai cave were reportedly the weakest. Now, this was interesting. Make Al Kebalan great again. Yes. This was interesting because I guess the plan was to bring out the strongest boys first and then bring out the weakest boys. And I was confused by that. It seems like you would bring out the weakest first. And I don't know what the rationale would be for bringing out the strongest boys first and then the weakest. Ozone hole mystery. China insulating chemical said to be source of rise. Japan floods, at least 100 dead. We talked about that. Prayers out. Turkey train derails en route to Istanbul, killing 24. So prayers out to 24 people. This was a day or so ago. Reports group beats 92-year-old man with brick and spews racist slurs. Make Al Kebalan glorious again. So that's coming off of the Griot. I'm not going to look at it because it's almost 2 hours. India train delayed due to drunk station master. Black teen shot by white man over fireworks. Hundreds memorialized victim. Today is D-Day. Oh, we talked about that. The freedom suit of Charlotte Dupuis. Okay. Hush. Bella, hush. Turkey purges more workers ahead of Erdogan swearing in. She mad at the dog. Letter from Africa complaining about colonialism. Bella, no. Her rival. She ain't got no rivals. She needs to chillax and just be. Letter from Africa complaining about colonialism makes us the victim. I want to read that article. I didn't read it. It's coming off of the BBC. Wildfires are sweeping through California, burning homes and forcing evacuations. So it's wildfire season again. This is the second article we've seen about fires this year, right? Japan floods. Okay, so we talked about it. This at this point it was 60 killed. Glory, hallelujah. I'm done. It's over. I'm complete. They must have some bad history. Mother Earth is angry. Some bad history. Who, these dogs? Y'all just be Team Bella. Maybe she's just lacking in dog social skills. Maybe that's it. All right. So, what are you looking forward to? What's your purpose today? Is your purpose today in alignment with your family and your community? What is what you're doing today helping to build your, how is what you're doing today helping to build your family and your community? What about this week? What about this month? What about this year? What about your lifetime assignment? How are you aligning the two? Because you know they're mutually inclusive. They're mutually inclusive. We need a purpose. Eye exam, packing for major move. Ooh, an eye exam. I guess that's good. It's good to see. Oh, I need to remember to take my glasses downtown on Wednesday because I'm finally gonna have my the glasses that I sat on 2 years that are a little twisted that I and Jim Crow Museum trip excursion field trip this weekend. We're gonna be meeting up in Detroit 8 o'clock at the New Center Eatery for breakfast. We're gonna caravan, so you know you drive over there, but then we're gonna caravan up to the Jim Crow Museum. We're gonna get there around 12:30. Then we gonna see the museum, and then we gonna go to Grand Rapids. I got some calls out, some emails out. I don't know which of the 19 Black-owned restaurants that I found, and I narrowed it down to 7 or 8 that seem to be vegetarian friendly. But one of those places we gonna go eat in Grand Rapids and chill and chat and all of that other good stuff. So that's on this Saturday. And also, if you're going to be in the Detroit area, the Concert of Colors is going on, so you can combine the two. And that's it. So this is the countdown. This is the time when we get ready to leave the room. You know, y'all don't have to leave YouTube, but you're going to have to get out of here in a moment. So let us know what you're looking forward to next time. Plan ahead, an all expenses paid trip. Yes, I like an all expenses paid trip. I like them. I've had a couple. So yeah, drop in the wonderful. I wish I could be there. Yeah. It's good. It's good to meet people in real life. YouTube is something. YouTube is something. I had no idea that YouTube would be a part of my life like this. It's weird. YouTube is something. And it's like some of y'all, I feel like, even though I just know you on the thing, I feel like, yeah. YouTube is something. So today is the best day ever. I miss food in a Black community. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Today is the best day ever, and you are the greatest. You are the number one stunner. You are on purpose and you are on mission. Yes, you are. It's on purpose that we're here together, and I appreciate you being here, whether you're here live, thank you for the likes, or whether you're here on the replay. It's all good. If you came in late, you can loop back around and see the beginning. If you had to leave early, you can loop back around and see it once it's uploaded. All of that. Wait, someone's calling in. And I'm trying to go to the song. Okay. So, yes. That's it. That's it for today. Peace and Black love. Hey. Be you. Bella's getting up. Fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Who you gonna be if you aren't you? Who we gonna be if we ain't we? Who you gonna be if you ain't you? Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Peace. It's 11 o'clock. Bella is a real soldier. Much love. You are truly fabulous too. It's nice to see you on the line, Bonafide, and everybody. It's always a blessing. Everybody is such a beautiful, wonderful, special voice. Peace. Enjoy.